Hello, friends. Kristen here with Softlex Company. How is everyone doing? Oh, it looks like my mic needs to be changed. Let's change that. Okay. Hi, I'm here by myself today. Thomas is off for the holiday week, so he should be back with me next Monday. But as of now, just me. So very Merry Christmas week to everyone joining me. I wasn't sure what I was going to make today, but I was cleaning up my space and going through some old necklaces. I came across this one that I love and I wear somewhat often, but I've wanted to make more colors of this. And it uses the rolla beads for the Kumihimo and then our ceramic beads up the side. I was putting together our emails, listing out some of the most beloved best-selling items, and the rolla beads are right up there. And actually, I put them in, I think, Friday's email, and quite a few of you checked them out. So it made me think about this necklace today. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do some Kumihimo with these rolla beads, which are like a large seed bead. And if we have time, we'll make the rest of the necklace. And so then today, as I was trying to figure out what colors to use, pulling out the rolla beads I had and the ceramic beads I had, I happened to have some moth artwork on my table, and I thought this one in particular, it was laying in such a way that I had some of the colors in the rolla beads and the ceramic beads. So we're going to use this artwork as our color palette inspiration. These are the only two little moths that I have left. I made 6 of them in the last month or so, just on a whim to have something small and easy giftable. So if you want these, they are called moth messages. They have secret messages on the back. This one is the moth message of guidance, and this one is the moth message of trust. You can find them in my Etsy shop, along with any other available art that I have available. And I also have a few digital download courses to paint on your own. I've got one with moths called Moth Messages, which is inspired these little ones because I did that course about a year or so ago with a group of artists called Art is Magic. And my particular course is now available on my Etsy shop for a digital download. And then I also have one where you paint Flower Goddess. And then I also have one that you paint through the elements. And that one's kind of a bigger course. It's got 4 videos opposed to just the one. So sharing that with you today, since it was the inspiration for the colors that we're going to use. I've got our rolla beads strung up here in the turquoise color. And then I have some brown ceramic beads, and I have these mustardy color ceramic beads, and then along with some gold spacers, a couple of gold spacers, and I'm using the antique brass metallics beading wire for my Kumihimo. I'm using a round Kumihimo disc. This is our double density disc, and we really like this super thick one because soft flex is a little bit tougher than the traditional cords that you might use. And so this really kind of holds its shape really well and hugs the soft flex really nicely in the double density. You can definitely use the single density Kumihimo boards too. They'll still work, but this is why we carry these thick ones, because we think they're really great with soft flex beading wire. I see some of you are using the hashtag festive in the comments. I am doing a giveaway. I don't know what yet. Maybe it'll be a roll of bead of your choice. Yeah, so use that hashtag festive, all one word. Make sure there's no spaces there, and that'll get you into the giveaway for the entry at the end of this video. You must be here live to win. How's everyone doing today? You guys ready? Ready for the holiday weekend? I've been baking cookies all weekend, and they're being eaten as fast as I am refilling my cookie tins by my family. I always make double batches. So I made double batches of 3 different kinds of cookies. And I always say to myself, I'm going to make a double batch of all these different kinds. This way I don't have to do any more. And then every year it's like, oh, I might have to make more. So we'll see. I know the finishing them is sometimes a little tricky. Actually, speaking of that, I did this design, which was similar with the roll of beads a while ago. And I don't love how I finished it because my tension got a little loose on the one end. And it didn't hold its shape in the same way as this one did. I really love how this holds its really tight shape. So I might have to redo this one. I added the donut pendant onto this one, thinking that might help it, but I don't know that it has. So I get you. Sometimes the finishing can be a little tricky. We had Rebecca Combs on last week from Design and Adorn. Check out her video. She did a great bead weaving project. And I always feel like I do a Kumihimo project after she's been on one of our beading parties because she inspires me with all of her great designs. And she's such a wonderful teacher. So check her out if you are looking for some Kumihimo tips. Go to Design and Adorn. I know she's got fabulous kits with amazing instructions, but she also has some free tips and suggestions, especially for beginners, on her YouTube channel. I'm sure she's probably got a video about finishing. So I know she's got videos about starting. So I'm sure she's probably got one for finishing as well. So go check that out. If you want some Kumihimo tips, she is like the master. She's the best. Okay, so let's see what else we have going on today. Our sale is ending today. We usually end our sales on Tuesday and start a new sale on Wednesday. But because Wednesday is Christmas Eve and a bunch of our staff are taking the time away from the office on Wednesday, we decided to end our sale early and start our new sale tomorrow. So the sale we have running that started last week and it's today, and let me pull that up. It is an end of year savings sale. You get $10 off your order of $49 or more. You get $20 off your order of $99 or more with that holiday coupon code, Holiday Cheer, all one word, not valid with any other order discounts. You get 1 coupon per order, and this ends tonight, December 22nd at midnight Pacific time. We'll have a new sale that goes up on the website tomorrow, and you'll see that in our emails tomorrow throughout the week. I think that one will run Tuesday to Tuesday for for our upcoming sale. You can also shop and get free shipping if you spend $99 or more. That's a different shipping coupon code. It's just free shipping, all one word. So you can decide if you want to use free shipping or if you want to use $20 off when you go to check out at softflexcompany.com. That is good through the end of today. Hi, Zach. Hi, Debbie and Ginny. Ginny says she can do the weaving, but she has trouble adding the beads to it. Yeah, I started with just weaving the wire or the cords. That is definitely how I began with Kumihimo. The beads are something I added in later. And I tend to be pretty, what's the word? Simple with my beads. Like I don't get too fancy. I know Rebecca has had some beautiful projects where she does like ombre or there's like a pattern that you follow, and that's super cool. I love that. But for me, when I'm just doing it on my own, I I just do usually a single bead so that it's not difficult for me to worry about like a pattern or something like that. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Debbie. It must be my festive attire today. I have my favorite holiday earrings on, and then I'm wearing my ugly sweater necklace that we made last year. I think ugly sweater kit was last year. Super fun. I wore this out this weekend as I was holiday shopping, and I got a lot of compliments on it. So I was like, it's my ugly sweater necklace. Super fun. All right, let's go down to the beading table and see what we are working with here. Where did I put? It's amazing how quickly things like get out of my way here. I put something down and I'm like, now where did that go? Just make sure I don't roll over it. Well, don't see it on the floor, so I guess I'm okay. Okay, there it is. So I am starting with our Softflex Antique Brass Metallics. It's a really dark metallic-y brass kind of color. And I thought that that went really well with my, they do look like almonds. I thought that went well with my art inspiration piece. So I had this sitting out on my desk because I was trying to figure out what colors to work with. And I noticed that I had turquoise in the roller beads and that I had these beautiful mustard tones in the big ceramic beads, which pick up the wings really well. And then I had these pretty mocha brown ceramic beads, which you can see there's some brown in the background. There's also some brown on the bottom of that moth. It's kind of like a red brown. And that is how I ended up with this color palette. So you never know what is going to inspire the beads you pull together, right? And like I said, I've got some gold spacer beads here. You're going to need 3x3 crimp tubes to gather all of these strands together. This is 8 strands of the Antique Brass Metallics medium diameter Softflex. That's our 0.019 Softflex. And I cut 16 inches of each strand. I then strung 15 of the roller beads on each strand and then finished it with a bead stopper. These were our mini bead stoppers that we used to carry. We don't carry them anymore, but I do really like using them for Kumihimo style projects. Super easy. You can also use a regular bead stopper. It's just they're going to be a little bit bigger, so they just kind of, you know, they might get in your way a little bit more, but they still work great. And then you can also put your wire onto a bobbin. We don't sell the bobbins. You'd have to pick those up from somewhere else. These are just regular bobbins, but you can find weighted bobbins at shops too. I would check out Design and Adorn shop. She's got so much. She probably should have, I think, like Kumihimo kits there. You can tape your wire and then roll it up in here. If you go the route of using the bobbins, I would just cut a little extra wire because you need to kind of roll it up in there. And I just feel like you need a little extra for it to like hold in there. I know we used to, Terry, we used to sell a whole bunch of colors of bead stoppers. We used to have them in blue and orange and green and teal and yellow. But now we only have red. Wah, wah. And part of that is because one of our really big distributors would order them in red only. And so we have a very large stock of them in just red. And then we no longer sell to that company. So we have only red in stock. I don't know what will happen once we sell through them. Maybe they'll bring other colors back, but we just have red. We thought red is a great color because you can spot it easily on your table, on your bead table. So it is a good color out of all of them. But as everything, it's fun to have the rainbow. Yeah, exactly, Terry. It stands out the most if you drop it. But it is really fun to have I don't know why we don't have the mini ones anymore. It could just be a manufacturing thing, Debbie. I actually asked the office today because I know they've been out of stock, the little mini ones, for a long time. And I haven't used them in a while on a video, but I knew I was using them today. So I was like, hey, what's going on with these mini bead stoppers? Are we getting them back? And yeah, they told me no. So, but I don't know why or when that was decided because I hadn't heard anything other than I just knew they were out of stock. So I don't know. I'm not sure what happened with the mini bead stoppers. Sometimes things just don't move quickly. And when you have to make decisions on what you're going to buy and what products your products you're going to carry based on how quickly they move out the door. And if they stuck around for too long, that could be part of the reason. I know. It's nice that I'm glad I've got a bunch of these in my stash. All right, so I'm going to set up my Kumihimo board. I've got these 8 strands crimped with a 3x3 millimeter crimp tube. Softlex company carries that large crimp tube, and I use the Mighty crimpers, which work just like the regular blue crimping plier. It's just got larger notches to fit the larger crimp tube. I left about 1.5 inches on this end for attaching it to the rest of my necklace. And I'm going to put that through the center of my Kumihimo disc. And now I'm going to set up my disc by putting a strand on either side of these 4 dots. And just line them up. I'm going to pick up my disc away from the camera for a second, just so I can let the strands hang, and that will make it a little easier for me to get these into the notches. And I try to make sure that I'm like doing my best to make this kind of neat. Like I'm just being thoughtful about which wire goes where. I'm not trying to take a wire from the left side and move it all the way over. I'm trying to grab a wire that's close to that side, and it just keeps it a little neater. I know we have done some of the bead stoppers in those goodie bags or in some of our specialty kits. So occasionally you could get them in there. But I know that they're all totally out of stock now, except for the red ones. So yeah, I don't know what the fate is for those. Sarah's a better question to ask. I'm not usually involved in inventory as often, unless there's something I really want us to carry. and I go to bat for it. Oh, you can use any Softflex beading wire, any Softflex product for this, and you could use any other cords. The Kumihimo can be done with cords and threads and all sorts of things. And it's the same pattern and same process. They just all feel differently. What I love about the Softflex is I like the structure that it gives. If you're using a thread, this would be a lot smaller, and the braid kind of collapses onto itself. Whereas in the Softflex, it's got a lot more structure and it's wider, feels a little more sculptural. Okay, so here's my Kumihimo disc set up. I've got my 2 wires on each side of the dots. And your pattern is, let me just kind of pull these so that they're not too tangled together. Let them go in all the 4 directions. So the pattern is taking the bottom left up to the left of this one here, and then you'll take the top right to the bottom right. So bottom left to the top left, top right to the bottom right. And then I'm going to turn my disc. And I'm going to do the same thing. And if you have a weight that you could clip on here, I suggest doing that. Go ahead and clip your weight. I'm just, you know what, let me put a bead stopper. I'm going to put a big bead stopper on the bottom just to give it a little bit of pull. Just helps with your tension. So I'm going to take the bottom left, now that I've turned it, to the top left, and the top right to the bottom right. And then I'm going to spin it again. I'm going to go all the way around once without any of my beads. I like to pull the wires kind of taut down too. Bottom left, top right, bottom right. And spin. It's a little easier when you're not like trying to do this on a desk. If you have like space below you for everything to kind of hang. It goes a little bit, but for video purposes, I need to be on a desk. I'll try and move some of my stuff out of my way a little bit. Okay, so now we're back to where we began with this layout here. So now I'm going to add beads because I went around one time without beads, and now I'm going to add beads. So I'm going to pick up the bottom left. I'm going to slide down one of my beads, and I'm going to tuck it under. See how this one's running parallel there? I'm going to tuck that under, kind of catches it. And then I go up to the top left. Same thing with this one. I'm going to grab one of the beads, slide it down. I'm going to tuck that under this wire here, and then I'm going to pull that to the bottom right. Yeah, the weighted bobbins will give it a little bit of better tension. I think that I've never had them, but I can imagine that they'd be very helpful. And even I used to have a weighted clip, and even just that was a lot better, but I destroyed mine and I just haven't gotten a new one. I ended up putting it in a little baggie with glue, and that was not good. So pick up that bead, tuck it under the wire that's running the other way, and then I go to the top. And then I take the one from the top. I don't think about it until I go to do another Kumihimo project. And then I go, oh yeah, I don't have a weighted thingy anymore. And I apologize, I might hit my camera a few times because I don't have a lot of space between my hands and the camera for this kind of project. It gets a little easier once your strands get a little smaller and they're not as cumbersome. But the pattern is the same the whole way through. So I'm just picking up a bead, dropping it down, making sure it goes underneath those wires it's crossing, and then spinning. There's a bunch of kids playing outside, so occasionally you might hear my dogs do a little barking today if they get caught off guard. They've been pretty good, but there's definitely a lot of kids. So I'm just gonna keep going. I see a good question there that says, from Jacqueline, what happens if the phone rings or you get distracted and you need to walk away? Your best thing to do is to do half a turn. So say I'm at this point here, the phone rings, I am gonna grab this one and put it up to the top. And then if I walk away, I know that this is where I left off because I've got my 3 strands there. You don't want to walk away when you've got it just 2, 2, 2, 2, because then you can't, you can figure it out. Like if you've done it enough, you can figure out where it is based on what you're looking at, but that's a lot more difficult. This is the easy way. Put one of the wires up to the top, and then you know when you come back that you left off with having to grab this top wire and bring it down. And that works at any turn. So if I turned it here, make sure that bead is underneath. Same thing. I would just take this strand, pop it to the top, and then I could put this down and walk away, and I know that's where I was. Oh, that's exciting, Ginny, to know you don't have to undo everything you did after all. You're welcome. It is an important tip, right? To know what to do when you're in the middle of it and you have to walk away for a second. There is a way to find yourself back, quite simply. I'm curious to see how this wire looks because you see the wire just a smidge in this pattern because the roll of beads are kind of large and have a little bit of space in between. If you had a smaller bead, you probably wouldn't see the wire quite as much. So when doing this particular project, I was trying to be thoughtful about the wire color because I knew you'd see it a little bit. I think it'll look nice. Well, once I start getting a bit more of a braid coming out the bottom, we can take a peek. So speaking of Christmas cookies, does anybody else make or holiday cookies, depending on what you celebrate? Is anyone else busy baking at all this weekend? And if so, what are your favorites? What are your must makes? Roller beads, I think if you go to our website, we actually have the millimeters listed. I feel like it's, I want to say 4.5 millimeters. It's larger than an 8 millimeter, but yes, you can use seed bead 8. You can use any size. You can use any bead really in this. You can use any wire. You can use any cord. You could use any bead and you can do this pattern. They just all turn out slightly different, but they all work. You can make them all work, I guess you could say. I've done this with fire polish. I've done it with tiny seed beads. I've done it with the roller beads a few times. Oh, your granddaughter got to make all the cookies this year. Is there one in particular that's a family favorite, Cecilia? Ah, that sounds great. Sherry made decorated sugar cookies, snowballs, and spritz. My mom was making spritz. She made some last year for the first time, and she loved them. She was telling me all about them. And then she and my aunt made them again this year. And she's like, something's missing. So I don't know what happened. She doesn't know what happened this year. Oh, Zach is making crockpot candy. I don't know what that is. What is crockpot candy? I'm going to have to look that up. Oh, Cecilia says you didn't know she could do all of these beautiful cookies. That's so great. I love that. Mother Goose popcorn for our family. What is that, Mary? Mary is asking also. Ginny makes Mother Goose popcorn. Advice Hound loves the leaf and flower cookies. Oh, yeah, those are good. Those like the butter cookies, like the leaf and flower butter cookies. I made a new cookie this year because I bought a huge thing of dried cranberries at Costco this Thanksgiving. And so I decided I made like a oatmeal cranberry white chocolate cookie that has been really delicious. So that's a new one, new to the New to the repertoire. And Cecilia made gingerbread. I made Sarah's ginger cookies, which you can find the recipe for those on our blog. You should be able to just search ginger cookies and they'll come up. We've shared them a couple of times in the past on our blog. And Sarah used to gift them to me when she lived in Arizona. But once she moved to California, I got her recipe because I loved those cookies so much. And she wasn't around to gift them to me anymore. So I started making them, and now I make them every year too. They're one of my absolute favorites. And they seem to have been very popular this year in my house. I think I'm going to have to make some more if I want to gift any to anybody because we're getting close to them being all gone. Ronnie's Girl says, my new favorite I made for the first time last year is s'mores cookies. Oh, that sounds delightful. Do you make them with like the ready-made cookies with the chocolate, like the graham crackery cookies with the chocolate, or are you making them some other way? Ginny says that it's sugared popcorn. You make a cooked syrup. You pour it over the popcorn while someone else stirs it. When it cools, it gets a sugar coating that has crystallized. It's so good. Ooh, is it kind of like those popcorn balls? I'm sure it's much better when it's made fresh, but is that kind of a similar idea? I'm going to end up eating cookies after this. Dana, you haven't made them? Oh my gosh, you should make them. Sarah shares a pretty, it's almost like a double recipe. So you could even cut it in half if you didn't want to make quite as many, but they go in my house. If you like that gingery, they've got like such a, I don't know, it's not really like a gingerbread. It's kind of, it's got like a more snappy gingery flavor. And then they are like just the right hint of crunchy on the outside and chewy. Oh my gosh. And then they're rolled in sugar in the raw. So it's got like that thick sugar, you know, there's like chunky sugar that is on the top of them. And oh my gosh, they're just so good. Kind of, but it isn't made into balls, right? You just leave it. And Ronnie's Girl says, no, it's similar to chocolate chip cookie dough, but you use chopped graham crackers, 2 kinds of chocolate, and mini marshmallows in the dough. But you also put 4 mini marshmallows in the middle. Oh my gosh, that sounds so good. That sounds way better than what I was thinking. I feel like I've seen like those easy to make cookies where you use the fudge ones. That sounds super good. Roberta hasn't made any cookies this year. I know, it's like if you make the cookies, you're going to eat the cookies, right? That's the only problem of making the cookies. So I feel like Sarah's ginger cookies are kind of a non-negotiable for me. I have to make those. And then my mom's Italian biscotti is a non-negotiable for me. I have to make those. And those I always gift to people, and they look forward to those. Ooh, and then you get out your wire working toy. Yeah. And then you can melt, give them a little. I love a toasted marshmallow. That is like my favorite. And I like when they're kind of burnt too. But my mom's biscotti cookies are the best. I had it for breakfast yesterday and today. And they're the same thing. I always make a double batch and I think I'll end up making more. At least one more batch before the end of the year. Look at how that's looking. You really can't have too many ginger snaps. No. I made them. I forget sometimes. Her recipe calls for Crisco, and I substitute butter. Sometimes I do Crisco, sometimes I do butter. I will say the consistency is a little different with butter versus Crisco, but they're both good. I feel like they just, with Crisco, they kind of puff up a little bit more. And with butter, they kind of flatten out a little bit more. But I made them with butter this year, and they are being gobbled up in my house right now. They froze really well too, because I froze a bunch after baking them to try and slow down the rate in which they disappear. So that's kind of nice to know also, is that you could freeze them and they froze and defrosted really, really quickly and easily. Ooh, Norma, Santa's trash cookies. They have chocolate chips, sprinkles, crushed pretzels, and potato chips folded in, and a little kosher salt on top. Salty and sweet and yummy. Oh my gosh, that sounds so good. It's kind of like the monster cookie or like the kitchen sink cookie, but I think it has a little bit different stuff in there with the potato chips. I love a pretzel, like something sweet and salty though. I have a feeling that because they're rolled in sugar in the raw, and you get that thick, chunky, sugary bite with the ginger. That is why everyone loves them. Even people that might not normally like gingerbread, I think, really love them. I don't think it matters, Roberta, if you just keep it in the same. I just have always gone this way. I've always gone counterclockwise. I think as long as you just stay with the same direction, I don't see why it would be a problem. Ooh, black bean brownies. I've never tried that, but I have seen that recipe before and always intrigued me. Who makes those? Zach, you do? And you like them? They're good. I have a major black bean lover in my house. Chocolate coated barbecue chips. Whoa. I think I've had chocolate covered potato chips, but not with like barbecue flavor on them. Oh, yeah. I don't have one of those fancy mixers. Actually, I don't even have any mixer right now because I had like a hand mixer from Bert's grandmother that was amazing, but it was kind of broken in one spot. And I used it for years like that, but I got nervous maybe a year or two ago and was like, you know what? I think this thing is going to cause like the blade or something is going to go flying out one day and it's not going to be good. So I tossed it, and I so rarely use a hand mixer that I don't think about it until I go to make holiday cookies. So I had to do mix everything by hand this year. So that's good to know. It's a little tricky with all that stuff in there. Oh, this braid is looking pretty. It's so fun to hear about the different recipes that are like your family's favorite and what you traditionally make each year, or if you're trying something new. I'm actually making carrot cake for Christmas. A Kumihimo weight and a mixer. Those are, and a hair dryer. I don't use that often either, but the only one I had my youngest son took with him to college. So with my hair being short, I felt like I've needed it more. So I need a hair dryer. Apparently, I'm lacking in some tools. It does work up quick, Dana. I know, we're almost there. It's been nice to have cookies to talk about while I go. Because the smaller the beads, the longer this will take. That is true. The roll of beads really make it kind of fast work. I feel like tools are always a great gift, aren't they? If you have some people on your list that would like to buy tools, or if you want to give somebody a heads up that Softflex Company has gift cards, we do. You could find them on our website. I think they're in the top navigation right now, making them easy to find. It's an gift card, so it sends the message and the gift card by email. So it's great for last minute, or if someone asks you, hey, what do you want or what do you need? And you happen to need supplies or tools, you can tell them to get you a Softflex gift card. We don't talk about it that much, but they are there. They are available. And with it being so close to Christmas, you wouldn't get your order now. So gift card is always available right until that day, because it'll go out right after you purchase it. Okay, we're getting close here. Just a bead or two left on each strand. Oh, that sounds delicious. I used to make caramels. I did that for a little while. And Ronnie's girl says the one thing I make every year is homemade caramel corn. And those were so good. I haven't made them in a few years now. I might make some peppermint bark. I ended up buying a big bag of chocolate chips, and I have some candy canes. I love peppermint bark, but I usually end up just buying it around the holidays. But since I have so many chocolate chips, I might make it. I don't have as much vanilla chips in the house, though. I do like when it's like both dark chocolate and vanilla. I think this is our last one. Last bead there. And do we have one more here? Yeah. Last bead here. Yay. Okay, let's take a look. That braid looks awesome. Peppermint and chocolate is your weakness. I know. They're so good. I do. I made it. Yeah. So my mother-in-law's favorite dessert is carrot cake. And I made her a carrot cake from scratch one year. And she brought it up to me for her birthday's in December also. So when I went to see her for her birthday this month, she was like, we got carrot cake out somewhere, like just a slice of it. And she's like, nothing is ever as good as the carrot cake you made. And I was like, you know what? I can make it for Christmas. So I'm going to make it. And I do it from scratch, the cream cheese frosting and everything from scratch. So I'm going to be working on that on Wednesday. Zach says canned black beans to save time, melted powdered chocolate, and browned sugar. You put them in a double boiler pot and then on low heat. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to go around one more time without any beads. And I can take all of these bead stoppers off now. Except I'll leave this one for the time being, but I'll take all of the little ones off. She totally got me. I know. She did. I was like, it's kind of a funny thing to make for Christmas, I feel like, but maybe I might make it into cupcakes and make them into like little snowman cupcakes or something. I don't know. I'm trying to think how to make them a Christmas Christmas one. So I'm going to go up and down, going around one full time without beads, just like I did in the beginning. And I think I didn't do this on this gold one. I might not have did that last row on the gold one, and that might be why it kind of opened up on me in a way I wasn't happy with. I think this will help cinch it better. And it feels so like stiff in a good way. That's what I want. Yes, I do add pineapple and coconut to the recipe, but I could add a little coconut on top too. I was thinking that to make it look kind of snowy. I'm a little better with cupcakes than I am with layer cakes. Layer cakes I find them difficult, and I always seem to get them a little funky. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to try this first. I don't know if this will work, but before I pull them off the Kumihimo board, I'm going to see if I can just get them in my crimp tube. This is a 3x3 crimp tube to hold all of these wires of soft flex. And I'm just doing this so that when I take them off the board, I'm not like wasting time and things are starting to unravel. I just wanted to see if that would kind of help. We'll see. So if I take this one and then this one and then this one and then this one. Oh. And now I've already got my crimp tube on there. Kind of pull it all the way down quickly. I feel like that is sometimes where things go awry. Okay, I got it. I'm going to grab my mighty crimper. I still have a lot of wire left. You do end up with a good amount of wire because you need to have enough wire to kind of do your weaving with. So I do have a lot of wire left. I'll have to save those for something else. This crimper has 2 notches, so I'm going to place the crimp in that back notch and give it a good squeeze. It'll create a little divot. So I'm going to put that divot into the front where it's facing out. It's kind of like a C. And then I'll squeeze it again. And I'll go around a few more times and squeeze it. And I just wanted that to be a really nice, tight braid because I want it to keep that almost like a bar, you know, like you see like with lamp work, people will do those bar necklaces, or with metal work, they might do a bar necklace. That's kind of what I wanted to emulate. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to see, do I have enough length on this one side? I think I do. I definitely do. So that's cool. I'm going to cut all of these wires free except for one. And then I totally have enough wire to not have to worry about adding anything else. On this side, I only have a tiny little bit of wire. I mean, I guess you can always make this a really long tail too. But what I'll do on this side is I'll cut them all free except for one. And then I'm going to attach another wire to it. So we'll start over here, and I like to cut these free one by one, and I'll save these because these are long enough to make a bracelet or something from. And what that does by doing it one by one, it ensures that you get a nice clean cut and you can get it real close to the crimp that way too. Okay. You don't have to worry too much about how this looks because we're going to cover it up with a bead. So you've got your crimp there, and you've got your one long piece. Let me see what length this is. So it's like in the future, maybe I should add a tail that's this long, about 9 inches. So that I don't have to attach another one here. So 1 by 1. So now I have a little itty bitty one on this side. So what I'll do with that is I'll take another crimp. I'm just going to use the copper again because that's what I used here. And I can take one of these extra pieces actually that I just cut off. Slide that on here, attach it here. Come on, there we go. So that your crimp is catching the new wire and connecting it to the other wire. And then I'll just grab my regular crimping pliers because this is now a 2 by 2 crimp. So it's smaller. I wouldn't actually even be able, this micro. That's too small. Where is my regular? I don't know. So I guess I'll use my magical crimpers because I don't know where the regulars went. Make sure that that is on there, nice and tight. And then I'll trim off the tail for that one. And I can trim off the tail on this side for that one. So now you can add a large hole bead like I'm going to do now. You can add a cone. You can wire wrap it if you want to. I've done that where I've wire wrapped it in here. So sticking with my color motif from my painting that we had here, I'm going to use one of these longer ones. Looks like that's where the little tie is. To go down over my crimps. Like so, like that. And then I'll probably put one of these spacer beads. It looks like I have 2 like that and 4. I have 2 that are like this and 4 like that. So maybe I'll do this one, that, and then the middle, and then the other one. Let's see how that looks. And then I'm going to cut free the brown ones. I know you guys have some of these in your stash, these large whole ceramic beads. At one point, we had so many, we were giving them, they were in kits, and there were also free gifts and all sorts of stuff. So I'm sure you have some. So here's my question. Do I go back to these beads or do I just leave them as an accent? And do I do the brown going up? What I did with this one, which is my piece I did a long time ago, is I had the same color. So I used the larger one as like that. And you could probably just do the brown ones too, but I used the larger one here, and then I went up with the smaller ones up the back, and then I did delicate beads on the actual wire. Add the mustard color again. So if I add it again, do I want it here? Or do I want to do 3 and then add it again? Or do 2 and add it again? Let's see. Or just do every other one, 3 and then add. I don't have any other spacers. On my desk at the moment, but I probably do have some more. Should I go like that? My braid ended up being just about 5 inches. It's slightly lower, slightly less than 5 inches. It's like 4 3/4. I think I like the 3 together, right? And should I do this other one in between? Like that? And then do this one above it? I think I like it better like that. Let's grab bead stopper. The big ones this time. And I got to figure out how far up we need to go. Like, do I want to do wire showing, or do I want to do little beads? Let's see if I get all the way to the back of where it is. It stops right there. I'm going to line it up with my other one because I really like how my other one lays. Oh, look at that. It's just about the same. Perfect. So if I want to leave wire, I definitely want to crimp it on the end because you want it to be nice and tight for this to stay nice and structured. If you want to add beads, then you could just add beads like I did all the way up to your clasp. What kind of beads would I add if I were to add beads? Maybe gold ones? What do I have? We have these gold Delica beads at Softlex Company that I could add along the back. So that could work. And do I have any other little beads at my fingertips? I don't, and I'm not going to string them all with you all here. So I think what I'm going to do, Kelly, in the beginning, I cut 16 inches of each strand of wire. And then I strung 15 of the roller beads on each of those strands. So there's 8 strands total for the 8 warp Kumihimo. And I did 16 inches for each of those 8 strands. And then each of those strands had 15 of the roller beads on it. And basically a good rule of thumb is 3 times. So this is just, it's about 4.5. And I definitely had wire left over. So whatever you want your braid to be, like I was thinking my braid would be around 5. I did it 3 times. That would be 15. And then I made it a little bit larger for 16. I know. I was wondering that, Dana. I don't know if I have enough. I wasn't working with a full, I was pretty close to full, but it wasn't entirely full. Where are my roller beads? So when you get roller beads, they look like this. And I don't think I have enough to keep going on the back end. But you could do something if you wanted to bring this turquoise back. You could add some turquoise and some spacers on the back end. That could be an option. I do have gold roller beads, but I don't feel like it really matches because it's a little more of a matte gold versus like this shinier antique gold. I think my best bet would probably be getting some seed beads. Even if I found some nice gold or brown, that would be cool. Or just leaving it with the Softlex wire, which is probably what I'm going to do today. Right. Oh, I could do them as spacers in here because there's not that many. Let's see what that looks like. And where do we want to put them? Is it going to work there? I'm curious if this goes over. No, it doesn't go over it. Ah, surprising. I know. I did think they were cute together. The brown beads. Let's see. What if I put it on like there? Ooh, that could work. And then maybe I put it at the end like that. I know, I agree. I think it would be because I like how it has the, like this was just silver and then it's got the silver beads there. So I do like how that works. Okay, so where did I put it? I put it here. Let's try it between the brown beads too and see if we like that or not. Thanks for hanging with us, Jacqueline. I know this was a little extra long today with this kind of project. I'm glad you stuck it out as long as you could. Happy holidays. I will see you next Monday. I know, I think I like the 3 brown together too. I think I like this side better than this side. It looks nice both ways, but there's something about, I kind of always like when there's like 3 together like that. Let's see how many I have left. 1, 2, 3. Six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then it looks like I can do 8 on each side, which is probably not long enough. So I think maybe I got to end it here. Just put that little guy there. That'll probably be good for the crimp too. All right, so now I got a crimp and I'm gonna move to a gold crimp instead, since gold 2x2, since I'm using gold spacer beads here. And this is not a finishing crimp. It's a crimp to hold these beads in place. Gosh, let me make sure. I think it'll do it. I think it'll hold it. I'm going to pick up one of my little scraps that I cut off. Slide it in here so that I have 2 soft flex wires running through that crimp tube. And then I'm going to use my magical crimpers to grab a hold of that crimp tube and bring it nice and tight. I mean, usually we're trying to not be so tight, but I feel like with this design, I really want my bar in the center to feel sculptural. Trim off the tail. That is looking good. Thanks for the suggestion of adding the turquoise up the side. I think that really helps to bring it together. And again, I'm going to grab a hold of that crimp in the center of my tool, and then I'm going to push it towards those beads a little bit more before I go ahead and crimp it around. Woo-wee! Yes. I like it too. I didn't miss any beads, right? Okay. This will be the time when I'd be like, oh no. Okay. And then lastly, I just need to add whatever clasp I need at the end. And you could always bead up the back in smaller beads too if you wanted to. But we've already run long, I'm going to try and find just a simple clasp quickly. And just add it to this side with my crimp tubes. So if you decide to bead it up the back here, then you don't have to bother with crimping. I'm really just crimping because I'm leaving the wire free and I don't want the beads to get too loose. I want them to be nice and tight along with this bar here. But if you decided to just bead up, then you could just keep beading until you add your clasp and then put on the crimp. And I'm just going to line it up with this necklace because I really like the length on this one. Oops, I forgot to put the clasp on. That's okay. I'm just gonna make this the loop side. Loop side and clasp side. Right about there. Debbie, I used medium because I really wanted the structure that the medium gives. You can do any diameter though. It'll just feel a little bit different. You can go heavier with the heavy and it'll be even more like stiff, or the fine will just be a little bit softer. Still wire though, it won't feel like thread, you know, it's not going to be that soft, but I could probably put let's take this necklace off and see where we're at. Ta-da! How long is this? I love this length. Let me see what the other one was, because it's just about the same. 12 and then 8, so 20 inches. 20 inches is where my sweet spot is, I think, for this design. It could go a little longer, a little shorter, but not too much. That's probably just where I would be comfortable. Yep, 18 to 20, says Sherry. Yeah. Thanks for your help today. I think it turned out great. And does it look like my art? I love that I got that inspiration for the color palette today from that painting, because I really, it's fun when you get to see how your creations work in different spaces and mediums, right? How you can take something from one and translate it. So think of that sometimes if you like something in artwork or in home fashion or something, like how can you grab some elements from that and bring it into your jewelry making process? I know, I do, Sherry. I'm gonna paint some denim jackets. I have a whole stash of them I've been hoarding for like years now. I think some moths are gonna end up on them. So stay tuned. All right, last chance to get your hashtag festive in. I'm going to give away your choice of color in one of the roller beads for today's video to go along with the project I made. It looks like I've got 47 of you right now. Yeah, Dominique, that is a great idea. She said, makes me want to use one of my photos to inspire some jewelry. Wouldn't that be fun to even just have a whole collection that you created that was inspired by your photographs? Super cool. Such a nice way to make the connection of, you know, your aesthetic and what you enjoy and like across different types of creative projects. Oh, they're real, Kaylee. How special. You're blessed to have some real ones on your clothes. Hopefully they're not eating them. Or maybe that's what you meant. All right, one more time. End of year savings, $10 off $49 or more, $20 off $99 or more. That sale ends today. Use our coupon code Holiday Cheer, all one word, at checkout to get that discount. It's not valid with any other order discounts. It's one coupon per order, and it ends today, December 22nd at midnight Pacific time. It is good with sale items, though. Anything that's on sale is fine. This will work on any of those. So anything that's marked down on sale, you can still get this coupon on top of. So that's really sweet. And if you are, let me grab the Softlex website. Since Thomas isn't here to help me with links, they did eat them, soon they'll be gone. Oh man, yeah, that's not the kind of moths you want. Snacky moths, no bueno. There's the link to our website at softlexcompany.com. If you're on Facebook, we'd love to have you join our VIB Facebook studio group. I'm going to put that link in here next. And then lastly, if you're interested in checking out some art that I have available or any of those courses for painting, you can check out my Etsy shop and see what's there. I'll post that in the links as well. All right, let's pull up our giveaway. You can get the Kumihimo board, you can get the roll of beads, the wire, the crimps, everything I used today, I think even some of the ceramic beads. I think we still have some. Oh yeah, we definitely do. We have some in an array of colors that you can get, the round ones especially. I think the oval ones were only in the live sale. Thanks, Shanae. Thanks, Ginny. I know I love these earrings too. They're so cute with the candy canes on them. I think they work. I like them so much because of the dark hair. You can really see them. They stand out better than a lot of like red and green stuff on me. All right, here we go. Let's see who our winner is today. Thanks, Kelly. Just nice necklace and length. Kim Maslansky, 3627. You are our winner today. Are you still here with us? Please let us know in the comments if you are. She's here. Look how quick. Yay. Kim, please give us an email at info. I'm going to type it into the comments right here at info@softflexcompany.com. Let us know your name, your YouTube name, just in case they're different, which, and your shipping address. And we will go ahead and get some, and what color roller beads you want. Or we can pick them out for you if you just want it to be a surprise. So let us know. You can check it out over at softflexcompany.com, search Rolla beads, ROLA, and see all the different ones that I've got. And then you can let us know which color you'd like, or if you just want to say mystery and let us choose, we can choose one for you. Congrats, Kim. Thanks so much for joining us today. Thank you, everybody, for being here with me today. I hope you have a beautiful holiday if you celebrate this week. If you don't celebrate this week, I just hope you have a wonderful week and a wonderful holiday in whichever you do celebrate. I will see you here again next Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific time for a new episode of Free Spirit Beading. We have Kit Day next week also. Sarah will be live on New Year's Eve with our champagne toast kit. We still have some of those available along with the bead strand, so you can go grab those at softflexcompany.com if you haven't gotten yours yet. Thanks so much for joining me. Happy holidays, and I'll see you all next week. Thanks for a fun project today. Appreciate all your help always and inspiration. Bye.